Before we start off with today's video, I want to talk to you guys about my friends over at So Avant-Garde. So Avant-Garde is a place where you can go and you can explore a wide range of niche perfumery. So much variety. They have discovery sets, they have samples, they have a lot to offer for those looking to elevate their collection, those who are curious about other things, of other qualities, of other brands in perfumery. All right, so save yourself some money. Use my code DEDRICK10. DEDRICK10 gets you 10% off on anything on So Avant-Garde. All right, so I know a lot of people are really in love with the brand of Mind Games as well. So I got something for you too. You want to head over to Mind Games and do some discovery, do some searching, do some looking, save yourself some money by using Dedrick10 as well over at mindgames.com. All right, so head over there, see what you like, see what you're interested in. I recommend sampling. All right, and then you can get you a good feel if you want to make a purchase from So Avant-Garde or mindgames.com. All right, so y'all check it out. Let me know what you guys get into, what you guys like. Let me know down below in the comments, man. And happy exploring for sure. All right, let's get started with today's video. YouTube, what's going on? YouTube, what is going on? What is happening, man? Of course, it's your guy, one more time, DEDRICKHJR, and I'm back with another fragrance video. Smell good, family. Hope all is well. Hopefully everyone is doing great, doing fantastic. Positive energy, positive vibes. Y'all know how we rock out here in this channel, man. Positive vibes only. All right, so we're back with my favorite video to do each and every week. That is, of course, the weekly rotation video. All right, so this is going to cover every fragrance that I wore during the week of October 6th, and it was an eventful week where I am, the entire state of Florida, still sending prayers and positive energy and positive vibes to everybody in Central Florida, Tampa area, St. Petersburg, just Orlando, Ocoee, you know, everybody in those immediate areas where Hurricane Milton was a direct hit. Up this way, we were blessed. We dealt with some inclement weather for sure. The wind was wild, but all in all, up this way, everything seems to be okay. All right, so definitely sending as much positive energy as I can to Central Florida for sure. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and tap in. I had a very interesting week where I got a chance to wear some, I guess, I want to say darker, some different fall-like fragrances. At least in my opinion, that's what they are. So we got a chance to kind of do that later on in the week. But before we get there, let's start off with Sunday. On Sunday, usually when I'm off on the weekends, go over to my sister's house, watch some football, just kind of chill out, eat some food, just kind of hang with the family. And that's what I did on Sunday with this fragrance. I was just in the mood for the DNA. For this particular version of the DNA from the House of Homme, we went with Legend Absolute. Legend Absolute on Sunday on a very fun day with the family. And this, of course, is an inspired take of Creed, Aventus Absolute. Beautiful, beautiful rendition. Homme absolutely nailed this. This is around that 90-95 percentile of the DNA. You get that rich pineapple, and it's like a rich pineapple and a rich orange. All the different facets to the Aventus DNA, especially from the absolute level. This stuff is fantastic. And yes, one day I'm going to get me a bottle of Creed Aventus Absolute. Yes, I will. I'm a fan of the DNA. If you're not new to this channel, you already know that. So I will add it to the collection at some point, but this has been holding me down. Homme do a fantastic job. And it'll be, you know, somebody might ask, well, why would you get the OG if the clone is so good? Well, my thing is, if the inspired takes are so great, then I mean the OG has to be maybe even a step up, because that's where the DNA was created. But sometimes the clones could outmaster original DNAs, but I won't recommend that. I always say check out the OG and then make the decision from there. But rambling a bit, but this was my fragrance of the day. Great performer, heavy fragrance, extrait de parfum. Been doing a lot of Homme content and it's really, really good. And a lot of y'all have agreed. On Sunday, from the house of Yom and Leo, we went with Legend Absolute. Legend Absolute. All right, on Monday, we were getting ready for the storm, prepping in my line of work, in my career, my business. We are in the positions to be first responders and getting ready to assist not only our immediate area, but the central Florida area. We were locked in. Long days for me this week, but it's for a good cause, and this was a fragrance where it just helped me push throughout the day. Versatile, clean, easy to wear. I love this stuff. From the house of Tumi, we went with Atlas. Tumi Atlas. Beautiful, clean, vetiver, musky, woodsy, fresh, spicy tones of a fragrance. The vetiver in here is done beautifully. It's like you get these two different types of vetivers. You get this earthy vetiver, and then you get this kind of soapy, clean vetiver. Some musk. There's a beautiful Florida grapefruit note in here. And it's just perfect for anything. Like, it's perfect for anything. So all my clean and fresh fellas out there, but you want to wear something that has a little bit more going on. Well, here you go. That vetiver and the citrus in here plays really, really beautiful. And I really enjoy this. As you can see, the dent in this bottle is real. Tumi did a great job. Their whole house is very good. I encourage you guys to check out Tumi if you have not, but this may be my favorite from the line. I'm not sure, competing with a couple of others. But we'll talk about that later. On Monday to the office, from the house of Tumi, we went with Tumi Atlas. Tumi Atlas. Dent in the bottle is real now. We wear our fragrances, all right? Coming up on Tuesday, the weather was changing. It was getting cloudy. It was windy. You can just kind of tell if you live in the South that a storm is approaching, and that was the vibe. It wasn't hot. It was a comfortable, kind of eerie feeling on Tuesday. But this was my fragrance of choice. I was in the mood for it. This is one of the best fougères, especially on the modern side, like a modern take on a fougère that I've ever smelled. This stuff is fantastic. From the house of Zaharoff, we went with Signature Pour Homme. Signature Pour Homme on Tuesday. Woods and spices. There's a freshness to this as well. So many interesting notes in here. Juniper berry. There's some woods in here. There's some lavender in here. This stuff is very, very modernized in comparison to your traditional fresh and green, spicy, lavender fresh fougères. George Zaharoff and his team really nailed it. This is definitely for a more mature audience. This is not going to be for everybody. This is for someone who's going to appreciate the DNA, and especially take it into a modern level where it's an interesting DNA. It's an interesting fragrance. The Pour Homme fragrance is very interesting. Has many different layers to it. I overly love this because I really love fougères and barbershops, and this is one of the better ones on the market. This is one of the better ones on the market. From the house of Zaharoff, we're talking Signature Pour Homme. If you love fougères, if you are into that modern fougère style, check it out, man. All right, up next, I revisited a classic, in my opinion. It's discontinued. Sadly, they have another version of this out, but it just doesn't do it like this one. What am I talking about? From the house of Giorgio Armani, we went with Acqua Profumo on Wednesday. On Wednesday, it was the day of the anticipation of the storm. Still at work, and I woke up in the mood for this DNA. And I said to myself, man, I haven't worn Profumo in so long. So take your Acqua DNA. It's a bit more darker. There's a smoky element to it as well with that incense in here. Still get it, but still get that original DNA that everybody loves. One of the top selling fragrances of all time, if not number one. But you darken it up a bit, put a little smoke to it, and it's just fantastic. The new Parfum, it's cool. It's okay. Eventually, I probably have to get a bottle of it once I'm done with this, but I got about a little more than a half bottle left of this, and I've had this for about 3 years now. But I was just in the mood for the DNA. It wears really, really well. It might be a little bit outdated to some. It just depends on who you're talking to. A lot of my young boys out there who are into fragrances might not be into an Acqua di Gio. But at one point in time, this was getting a lot of content and a lot of conversations in FragCom. This stuff is good. Sad that it's discontinued. At least I think it is. From the house of Giorgio Armani, we went with Acqua Profumo. Yes, sir. This stuff is really good and glad to have a bottle for sure. All right, on Thursday, it was storm day. Now for me and where I am, I get up very early to go to work. So that's when the storm was racing offshore, really coming in contact with the east side of the state, up here in North Florida where I am, the Jacksonville area. The wind was whipping. Your boy had to go into work through all of that, but thank God I made it in safe. And, you know, there was nothing going on, and everybody at my building, we ended up getting able to do our thing and continue to assist those in need as the storm was passing through Florida. And I wanted to smell good, and I wanted to feel really good about it. So I went with this. This stuff is incredible. One of the greatest blue fragrances ever created. From the house of Ex Nihilo, we went with the Blue Talisman. Ex Nihilo Blue Talisman. This was the biggest compliment getter of the week. Soon as I walked into the office, a couple of my guys was like, well, one of my homeboys, shout out to my man's Maurice if he sees this, he was like, Blue Talisman? Because he is into fragrances and he has Blue Talisman as well. But this stuff is incredible. Ginger, orange, woods. The woods really come out on my skin. And I think that's what I like about it the most. You get this fresh pop, this fresh spicy pop from the ginger. The citruses in here are really nice, complemented by like that musk and the woods in here. It really shows out. Lasts all day long. If you're into blue fragrances and you haven't tried Blue Talisman, you're missing out. If you're not into blue fragrances and you haven't tried Blue Talisman, I recommend that you do. I recommend that you do, because this might be the one blue that triggers you to like, oh my God, let's go down this lane. So again, you know, it's just one that caught a lot of hype throughout 2024 and late 2023, but this stuff is really good. It's really good. Great for anything. It was great for me on Thursday on Storm Day. From the house of Ex Nihilo, Patty, we went with the Blue Talisman. Outstanding fragrance for sure. All right, so as the storm rolled out, some cooler weather rolled in. And on Friday morning, we were in the high 50s and didn't get out of the 70s on Friday morning. It was not a cloud in the sky. Breezy, felt great out. I go to work very early in the morning, as I said, so I'm able to get the brunt of that cool air before the sun comes up and the day really gets started. And I've been itching to wear this. And I was so glad I got to experience it yet again. From the house of Dior, yes, we have the original, Dior Homme original. And I believe this is the 2014 version. This is where it all started from my understanding when it comes to the iris takeover, the makeup baggy iris takeover. Cacao, leather, iris. It's beautiful. So I wasn't head first into the iris conversation back when this released originally. I was still on my, you know, my regular blues and clean scent. So I didn't even know anything about this too a few years ago. But I got lucky to get this bottle. This is hard to find. It pops up on discounters here and there, but this is a discontinued fragrance. So I caught it one night for a great price from a discounter. I got it in and I said, wow, I understand the conversation now. Because I thought I was good with Dior Homme Intense and Dior Homme Parfum. But what I will say is, this is a much more fresher take on that Dior Homme Intense and Parfum flankers of the DNA. This is a much more fresher stance on it. And I really enjoy it. I kind of debate back and forth, which one do I like the most, this or the Intense? Which one am I really vibing and what am I rocking with? So I haven't come to that conclusion just yet. But all in all, this is really good. Could it be redundant to have this in the Intense? Maybe, depends on who you're talking to. But I really enjoy the DNA, so it was a no-brainer for me once I saw it for sale. So again, a hard one to, you know, this one is hard to come by, but it does pop up on discounters for a decent price here and there. Holidays are coming up, so you might catch it for sure. But this is good. From the house of Dior, we have Dior Homme, the original. The original. And yes, I am aware that there's a 2012 version and that version and this version. I am aware. But that's the version that I have. I'm happy with it, and I'm not up for the debate of the 2012 and the 2002. No, I'm cool. All right. All right, and to close out the week, I'm starting to continue to add fragrances from this line over time, and I'm really glad to have one, in my opinion, that's really slept on. Not a lot of people talk about this one enough in the community, but this stuff is stellar, and I personally think that it's one of the better unisex options that are just out there, period. From the house of Argos, we went with Pallas Athene. Pallas Athene from the house of Argos. So very happy to have a full bottle of this. This is one of the ones that I tried early on once I was exposed to the house of Argos. I have several samples of certain fragrances from the house, and this was one of them. And I was going back and forth between this and Adonis Awakens, and I ended up choosing this over Adonis Awakens for now. I'm not saying I won't get Adonis Awakens at some point, but this one just resonated with me. And why is that? It's that sandalwood that Christian uses. This stuff just booms off of my skin. The quality is elite level. The whole experience. You got an Argos fragrance, you bought a bottle, you know what I'm talking about. If you have the sample pack, you know what I'm talking about. But the blend of this with the citruses and the florals and the sandalwood, the musk in here, it's just portobello. That's what we're getting. So some may think this leans a little bit feminine. I would understand. Some fellas would, assume that or probably think that. I get it, but not for me. This is right down the line unisex for me. I can appreciate a nice floral experience in the fragrance. Of course, citruses and fruits. And then the beautiful sandalwood that Christian just uses really, really well. There's not too many experiences of sandalwood that are better than what you get into an Argos fragrance, specifically with Pallas of Athene. So glad to have this in my collection. I believe this is year around. Same thing like Love Triumphs Over War. Those two are the ones I think that are year around, no matter what. It gives me a chance to wear an Argos all year round, because most of my other ones are for the cooler weather, and that's fine. But picking my pocket, picking my spots, and getting able to wear an Argos fragrance that has some fresher takes and it would allow me to enjoy it without being offensive, which, that'd be kind of hard to do with the quality that this stuff has. But long story short, really glad to add a full bottle presentation to my collection. This is unlike anything I have, so that's perfect because I don't want no redundancy in my collection. But on Saturday, to close out the week, 3 compliments. This one and Blue Talisman was the most complimented of the week. 3 compliments, all from the ladies, a few of the ladies who I work with right off the rip. Oh, what's that? I got one like, oh, what's that? What you wearing? What's that called? I told them what it was. It was like, what's that? Of course, have the conversation there. But really good stuff. From the house of Argos, we have Pallas Athene to close out the week on Saturday. And Saturday was just beautiful. Still another high 50s day. Got cracked the 80s, the low 80s, but everything was just fine with that fragrance. All right, so that was my weekly rotation, everybody. Great week, versatile week. Got a chance to, tap into some fall-like fragrances. And this coming week, at the time of this recording, we're going to be into the mid 40s and high 40s. So we're going to start seeing more fall fragrances in these rotations, and I'm excited about that. All right, so of course, let me know what you guys wore throughout the week. How was your week? What did you love? What did you try new? What was old discovery, or what was a no for you? Let me know down below in the comments. I really look forward to reading your guys' rotations each and every week. I really do. I get inspired to revisit things and inspired to look into things as well, see what you guys got going on. So Smell Good family, I appreciate y'all. I don't take anything for granted. Just really thankful for all the support on this channel, and again, sending all the energy in the positive way to Central Florida, the Tampa area, and everybody affected by Hurricane Milton. So hopefully we're done with these things and we can kind of move on until we get to this time next year. But only time will tell. All right, so until next time, be cool, be safe, take care of yourselves. Positive energy, positive vibes. Y'all know what it is, baby. Splack it up, splack it down, splack it that thing all around. And remember, man, what you put out into this world is exactly what you are going to get back. What you put out into this world is exactly what you are going to get back. And that's for sure, man. Peace, y'all. And splack.